Welcome back. All right, so how about another career video? Geoff Sanderson today. Geoff Sanderson, a number 36 pick in 1990, and he was a goal scorer who was so wildly inconsistent. Absolutely insane career looking back on it. I thought about wearing a Canucks jersey. I really did. I thought, man, his time in Vancouver is legendary, but we'll get to that. So he's drafted by the Hartford Whalers, and of course the Hartford Whalers went through some things in the 90s. He makes his debut in 90-91, so that's his draft year. 2 games. He had 1 goal out of those 2 games. In the playoffs, he played 3 games, did not record a point. 91-92, 64 games played, 13 goals, 18 assists, 31 points. In the playoffs, he adds a goal in 7 games. 92-93 is his big career year, so he explodes offensively. 82 games, 46 goals, 43 assists, 89 points. Now, he's not top 10 in goals because everybody seemed to have 50 goals that season, but still a 46-goal season, really, really solid. So Sanderson put himself on the map there. 93-94, he has his second 40-goal season in a row. 82 games played, 41 goals, 26 assists, 67 points. And he plays in the All-Star game. So All-Star credentials, and he's probably the best goal scorer for the Hartford Whalers during that period. 94-95, a lockout-shortened season. He plays 46 of the 48 games, 18 goals, 14 assists, 32 points. So over 82 games, that prorates out to about 32, 33 goals, somewhere in that region. 95-96, he played 81 games that year. Doesn't miss a lot of time with Hartford. 34 goals, 31 assists, 65 points. So again, this is a very good baseline he's got here. 34 goals and over a full season. That's his lowest total in a while. So not bad. In 96-97, what would be the final year for the Hartford Whalers, 82 games, 36 goals, 31 assists, 67 points, and he plays in another All-Star game. So the team transfers to Carolina. He transfers to Carolina with him. The goal scoring dries up. No idea why. This is one of those baffling things with Geoff Sanderson. 40 games with Carolina, 7 goals, 10 assists, 17 points. And January the 3rd, he is traded with Sean Burke and Enrico Ciccone to the Vancouver Canucks in exchange for Marty Gelinas and Kirk McLean. And he doesn't stay in Vancouver very long. This was a time that as a Canucks fan, I was confused. Needed a program to see who was in the lineup on any given night because he only plays 9 games for Vancouver. He had his struggles, but we've talked about this. Players, it can sometimes take a while for them to get used to new surroundings. But he only plays 9 games for Vancouver, no goals, 3 assists. And on February 4th, so a month and a day after he's been acquired by Vancouver, Brian Burke decides, well, we're going to move him. He's traded for a 1999 third-round pick and Brad May, because Sean Burke loved himself some Brad May. So after that, he goes to Buffalo. So this is his third team that season. Plays 26 games in Buffalo, 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points. Played more of a third-line role with the Buffalo Sabres. In the playoffs, he plays 14 games, 3 goals, 1 assist, 4 points. So, 98-99 again, playing more as a third liner in Buffalo. 75 games, 12 goals, 18 assists, 30 points. So yeah, the goal scoring, which was a hallmark of his game, is largely missing in Buffalo. But in the playoffs, the Sabres go all the way to the Stanley Cup final. He plays 19 games, 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points. And some key goals along the way there, too, during that playoff run. 99-2000, and what would be his final year in Buffalo, 67 games, 13 goals, 13 assists, 26 points. He adds 2 assists in 6 games in the playoffs. Now, Columbus is coming into the league, and Columbus is going to resurrect the goal scorer. June the 23rd of 2000, he is claimed in the expansion draft by the Columbus Blue Jackets. Again, figuring, well, he scored 30 to 40 goals before, maybe we can get that again. And they do. The 2000-2001 season, he plays 68 games with the Columbus Blue Jackets, 30 goals, 26 assists, 56 points. So again, he's gone, 3 seasons without scoring as many as 15 goals, and then he's back to 30. Columbus putting him in a more prime situations. He gets special teams time. Suddenly he's a goal scorer again. 2001-2002, he only plays 42 games that year, records 11 goals, 5 assists, 16 points. But despite only playing roughly half of that season, the following year he roars back. He plays all 82 games in the 02-03 season with Columbus, 34 goals, 33 assists, 67 points. So again, In Columbus, his goal scoring, pretty solid. Now in 03-04, it kind of falls off again because this is kind of Geoff Sanderson's career, how things go. 67 games played that following season with Columbus, 13 goals, 16 assists, 29 points. On March the 9th, he's traded for a 2004 third-round pick from the Vancouver Canucks. Yeah, he's back in Vancouver. Now, here's where things get interesting because, again, as a Canucks fan, I felt like he fit in a lot better the second time. 13 games played after that trade deadline acquisition. 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points. In the playoffs, he adds a goal and an assist for 2 points in 7 games. But again, I thought Sanderson was better, and I thought, well, if they keep him, they don't. January 5th of 2005, he signs as a free agent with Columbus. So he's going back to Columbus. And of course, the 04-05 season's wiped out because of the lockout. So 05-06, he plays 2 games. 2 games, we're in this, for Columbus after signing as a free agent. And then he's traded in a pretty big trade in terms of number of players with Tim Jackman for Jason Chimera, Cale Hulse, and Mike Rupp. There's a trade for you. So he goes to the Arizona Coyotes, and in the 05-06 season with Arizona, his goal scoring kind of comes back. 75 games, 25 goals, 21 assists, 46 points. So he's back up to a 25 goal scorer, but then July 19th, he signs as a free agent with the Philadelphia Flyers, plays 58 games that season, 11 goals, 18 assists, 29 points. So Philadelphia, seeing that drop off, he ends up being traded that offseason. So July the 1st, he's traded to the Edmonton Oilers with a 2009 third-round pick as well as Joni Pikkinen in exchange for Joffrey Lupul and Jason Smith. So now he's in Edmonton, and that final year in Edmonton, he plays half the games, 41 games, 3 goals, 10 assists, 13 points in what would be his final season. The thing that stands out to me with Sanderson is he really is kind of all over the place. In Buffalo, he had a good run as a third liner, right? So the offense isn't where it was before, but he has a good run as the third liner. The offense in Hartford, he was great. And it's baffling to me that the offense disappeared in Carolina. But again, quite the career. He plays 1,104 games in his career, 355 goals, 345 assists, 700 points. The most for any player out of the Northwest Territories. 55 games in the playoffs, 9 goals, 10 assists, 19 points. So outside of the 99 run with Buffalo to the final, he doesn't go on any other long runs in the playoffs, but still, pretty decent career. His cousins, Wade and Sheldon Brookbank, and his son is Jake Sanderson, who is Ottawa Senators' property, and looks like he's going to be an excellent defenseman for years. And if he has any of the goal-scoring acumen for his dad that shows up, that could help Ottawa from the blue line as well. Interestingly enough, looking up Geoff Sanderson, he used a shorter stick in the second period than he played with in the first, and a shorter stick in the third than he had in the second. Felt it gave him an advantage. So that's something that's interesting. I haven't seen that before. I don't know if there's other players who have done that, but that's an interesting little tidbit about Geoff Sanderson. He won a 1989 Memorial Cup. He also won World Championship gold in 1994 and 1997. That Canadian team in 94 broke a long drought for Canada at the World Championships. Canada's been pretty good at the World Championships since, but they had gone a while without a win. So it's a pretty solid career for Geoff Sanderson. And, I mean, overall, if you play 1,100 games in the NHL, that's a success. And for the number 36 pick in the draft, not too shabby. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.